I want to move on to advanced materials. I think this is one of the most exciting areas within the technology space at the moment, and the majority of new innovations are coming from material science, and this is where we're looking at materials that have got a superior functionality or performance or characteristic that increases value in the way that we want to use it. And I've been privy to see some amazing things going on in this area, and it's not just the materials, it's also the methods of production that go with those materials. And so some of the examples, and we'll go through one in a second, that takes a new material, but it also combines it with 3D printing as a new format. And Anthony, you might get your dream. Can we play the video, please?
I remember that when I was first told about a 3D printer, I was a little bit skeptical about how useful it would really be. But I have to say I'm pretty surprised and I'm pretty happy that they've actually turned out to be a very useful tool.
3D printers make it so easy to make physical things quickly, but you just can't do the same thing with electronics. Why not?
Having access to a product like this when doing my engineering projects would have been incredibly useful. Instead of spending hours soldering and having to correct mistakes, I could have simply quickly and easily designed a circuit board, even in MS Paint, and printed it out and have it working within minutes.
The basic principle is it uses an inkjet process, so it prints in one chemical and then it prints on top of that in another chemical, and then the two chemicals are in liquid form, they react, and then the silver precipitate forms.
So the software will be simple and easy to use. It'll be as simple as importing an image and pressing a button to process the file. This file will then be copied onto an SD card on the printer and printed out on the spot.
We've been working really hard in the last 9 months to get the printer at the stage where it's ready for release.
We've done tests with capacitive touch sensors and have been able to print onto a gamepad, which we've been able to use to play video games.
We've been experimenting with all sorts of different substrates, and we've already been able to print on capped-on and acrylic plastics to make rigid or flexible circuits. In addition to these more conventional materials, you can also print on stickers, paper, even fabric, blurring the line between electronics as a hobby and electronics as a craft. We want to make prototyping electronics as easy as 3D printing.
So obviously it's in its early stages of development, but it's no coincidence that it's young students that are pushing the boundaries of this technology, and I think it reinforces the need to get the young and the clever involved in your business, because they can think outside the box and they can try things that are not constrained by tradition. I mean, a printer like that is a couple of $1,000s, and obviously with Anthony's setup it's millions and millions of dollars. So you can see from a disruption point of view where all of a sudden a competitor in a back shed can pop up, and it's, I think, a very simple way of highlighting how materials with printing can work. I do want to touch on some of the advanced material properties just to give you an indication of something that's significant. Graphene is one of those materials. It won a Nobel Prize for Physics in 2010 for the discovery, and if you look at the properties of this material, I mean, it's just incredible. It conducts heat 10 times better than copper. So for those in the room that are trying to dissipate heat with their products, the strength is 200 times stronger than structural steel. I mean, it sounds incredible, but it's essentially a two-dimensional material. So instead of most materials are three-dimensional in shape, this is a single sheet, a single layer of atoms. And as a consequence, it has some incredible properties and applications, and some of them are in batteries, some of them are in advanced carbon fibre, and many of these other innovations that are coming coming to bear. And a simple example of that is there's a company in Adelaide called Valence that's working with Adelaide or University of Adelaide at the moment with a research centre around this particular technology, which has exciting prospects for the future.